From Sri Sai Ram, Shirdi Sai Satcharita, written by Hemadpantji and translated by Gunaji. Chapter 33, Greatness of Vudi. In the last chapter, we described the greatness of the Guru. Now in this, we will describe the greatness of Vudi. Preliminary. Let us bow now before the great saints. Their merciful glances will destroy mountains of sins and do away with all the evil taints of our character. Their casual talk gives us good teachings and confers on us imperishable happiness. Their minds do not know any difference, such as this is ours and that is yours. Such differentiation never arises in their minds. Their debts or obligations will never be repaid by us in this birth as well as in many future births. Udi. It is well known that Baba took dakshina from all, and out of the amount thus collected, he spent a lot on charity and purchased fuel with the balance left with him. This fuel he threw in the dhuni, the sacred fire, which he kept ever burning. The ash from this fire was called Udi, and it was freely distributed to the devotees at the time of their departure from Shirdi. What did Baba teach or hint by this Udi? Baba taught by his Udi that all the visible phenomena in the universe are as transient as the ash. Our bodies composed of wood or matter of the 5 elements will fall down after all their enjoyments are over and be reduced to ashes. In order to remind the devotees of the fact that their bodies will be reduced to ashes, Baba distributed Udi to them. Baba also taught by the Udi that the Brahman is the only reality and the universe is ephemeral, and that no one in this world, be he a son, father, or wife, is really ours. We come here, that is in this world, alone, and we have to go out alone. It was found and is even now found out that the Udi cured many physical and mental maladies, but Baba wanted to din into the devotees' ears the principles of discrimination between unreal and the real, non-attachment for the unreal by his Udi and Dakshina. The former, that is Udi, taught us discrimination, and the later, that is Dakshina, taught us non-attachment. Unless we have these two things, it is not possible for us to cross over the sea of the mundane existence. So Baba asked for and took Dakshina, and while the devotees took leave, he gave Udi as prasad, besmeared or some of it on the bhaktas' foreheads, and placed his boon conferring hand on their heads. When Baba was in a cheerful mood, he used to sing merrily. One such song was about Udi. The burden of the Udi song was this: "O playful Rama, come, come and bring with you sacks of Udi." Baba used to sing in very clear and sweet tones. So much about the spiritual implication of Udi. It had also its material significance. It conferred health, prosperity, freedom from anxiety, and many other worldly gains. So the Udi has helped us to gain both our ends, material as well as spiritual. We shall now begin with the stories about the Udi. Scorpion sting. Narayan Motiram Jani of Nasik was a devotee of Baba. He was serving under another devotee of Baba by name Ramachandra Vaman Modak. Once he went to Shirdi with his mother and saw Baba. Then Baba himself told her that he, that is her son, should serve no more but start independent business. Some days after, this prophecy turned true. Narayan Jani left service and started a boarding house, Anadashram, which thrived well. Once a friend of this Narayan Rao was stung by a scorpion, and the pain caused by it was so severe and unbearable. Udi is most efficacious in such cases. It is to be applied on the seat of pain, and so Narayan Rao searched for it but found none. Then he stood before Baba's picture and invoked Baba's aid, chanted Baba's name, and taking out a pinch of the ashes of the joss stick burning in front of Baba's picture and thinking it to be Baba's Udi, applied it on the seat of pain and the sting. As soon as he took out his fingers, the pain vanished and both the person were moved and felt delighted. Bubonic plague case. Once a devotee in Bandra came to know that his daughter, who was staying in another place, was down with bubonic plague. He had no Udi with him, so he sent word to Nana Sahib Chandokar to send the same. Nana Sahib got this message on a road near the Thana railway station when he was travelling with his wife to Kalyan. He had no Udi with him at the time. He therefore took up some earth from the road, meditated upon Sai Baba, invoked his aid and applied it on the forehead of his wife. The devotee saw all this, and when he went to his daughter's house, he was very glad to learn that his daughter, who was suffering for 3 days, began to improve from the very moment Nana Sahib invoked Baba's aid near the Thana railway station. The Jamner miracle. About 1904 to 1905, Nana Sahib Chandokar was Mamaltadar at Jamner in the Khandesh district, which is more than 100 miles distant from Shirdi. His daughter Mainatai was pregnant and was about to deliver. This case was very serious, and she was suffering from labor pains for the last 2 or 3 days. Nana Sahib tried all remedies, but they proved in vain. He then remembered Baba and invoked his aid. There in Shirdi, one Ramgir Bhua, whom Baba called Bapu Gir Bhua, wanted at this time to go to his native place in Khandesh. Baba called him and told him to take a little rest and stop at Jamner on his way home and give the Udi and Arati to Nana Sahib. Ramgir Bhua said that he had only 2 rupees with him, and that amount was barely sufficient for the railway fare up to Jalgaon, and it was not possible for him to go from Jalgaon to Jamner, a distance of about 30 miles. Baba assured him that he need not worry, as everything would be provided for him. Then Baba asked Shama to write the well-known Arati composed by Madhav Atkar. That is, a translation of this is given at the end of this work, and give a copy of it with Udi to Ramgir Bhua to be delivered to Nana Sahib. Then, relying on Baba's words, Ramgir Bhua left Shirdi and reached Jalgaon at about 2:45 a.m. He had only 2 annas left with him and was in a hot plight. To his great relief, he had heard somebody calling out, "Who is Bapu Gir Bhua of Shirdi?" He went to him and told him that he was the person Bapu Gir Bhua. Then the peon, professing to be sent by Nana Sahib, took him out to an excellent tanga with a good pair of horses. They both drove in it. The Tonga ran fast, and early in the morning they came to a brooklet. The drive took the horses for watering them, and the peon asked Ramgir Bua to partake of some eatables. On seeing the beard, mustache, and the livery of the peon, Ramgir Bua suspected him to be a Muslim and was unwilling to take any refreshments from him. But the peon satisfied him by saying that he was a Hindu, a Kshatriya of Garhwal, and the Nana Sahib had sent these refreshments, and that there should be no difficulty nor any doubt about acceptance. Then both of them took the refreshments and started again. They reached Jamner at dawn. Ramgir Bua alighted to attend a call of nature, that is passing urine, and returned within a few minutes, but found that there was no Tonga, no driver and no peon. He was dumbfounded. Then he went to the neighboring kacheri and, making inquiries, learnt that the Mamaltadar was at home. He went to Nana Sahib's house and announced himself and gave to Nana Sahib Baba's Udi and Arti. At this time, Mainatai's case was in the most serious condition, and all were in deep anxiety about her. Nana Sahib called out his wife and asked her to give the Udi mixed with water to their daughter to drink and sing Baba's Arati. He thought that Baba's help was most opportune. In a few minutes came the news that the delivery was safe and that the crisis had passed away. When Ramgir Bua thanked Nana Sahib for the peon, Tanga and the refreshments, etc., the latter was greatly surprised, as he had sent none to the station and was not aware of any person coming from Shirdi. Mr. B.V. Dio of Thana, retired Mamaltadar, made inquiries about this matter with Bapura Chandorkar, son of Nana Sahib and Ramgir Bua of Shirdi, and after satisfying himself wrote an elaborate article, part prose and part poetry, in Sri Sai Leela magazine, that is volume 13, number 11, 12 and 13. Brother B.V. Narasimhaswamy has also taken down the statements of 1. Mainatai, that is number 5, page 14, and 2. Bapu Sahib Chandorkar, number 20, page 50, and 3. Ramgir Bua, number 27, page 83, dated 1st June 1936, 16th September 1936, and 1st December 1936 respectively, and published them in his Devotees' Experiences, Part 3. The following is quoted from Ramgir Bua's statement. One day, Baba called me to him and gave me a packet of woodi and a copy of Baba's Arati. I had to go to Kandesh at the time. Baba directed me to go to Jamner and told me to deliver the Arati and Udi to Nana Sahib Chandorkar at Jamner. I said to Baba that all I had was 2 rupees and asked him how that could take me by train from Kopargaon to Jalgaon and next by cart from Jalgaon to Jamner. Baba said, God will give. That was Friday and I started at once. I reached Manmad at 7:30 p.m. and Jalgaon at 2:45 a.m. At the time, plague regulations were enforced and I had much trouble. I was to discover what I should do to get to Jamner. At about 3 a.m., a peon in boots turban and well equipped with other details of good dress, came to me and took me to a tonga and drove me on. I was in terror. On the way at Baghur, I took refreshments. We reached Jamner early in the morning, and by the time I attended my call of nature, the tonga and its driver had disappeared. This is on page 83. Narayan Rao. Bhakta Narayan Rao, father's name, that is, his father's name and surname are not given, had the good fortune to see Baba twice during the latter's lifetime. 3 years after the passing away of Baba in 1918, he wanted to come to Shirdi, but he could not come. Within a year of Baba's Maha Samadhi, he fell sick and suffered much. All ordinary remedies gave him no relief, so he meditated on Baba day and night. One night he had a vision in his dream. Baba, coming to him through a cellar, comforted him, saying, "Don't be anxious. You will be improving from tomorrow, and within a week you will be on your legs." Narayan Rao got perfectly well within the time mentioned in the vision. Now the point for consideration is this: was Baba living because he had the body? And was he dead because he left it? No, Baba is ever alive, for he transcends both life and death. He who loved him once wholeheartedly gets response from him at any time and at any place. He is always by our side and will take any form and appear before the devout bhakta and satisfy him. Appa Sahib Kulkarni. In 1917, the chance of one Appa Sahib Kulkarni came. He was transferred to Thana and began to worship Baba's picture presented to him by Bala Sahib Bhate. In real earnest, he did the worship. He offered flowers, sandal paste and naivedya daily to Baba in the picture and longed intensely to see him. In this connection, it may be remarked that seeing Baba's picture earnestly is equivalent to seeing him in person. The following story illustrates this statement. Bala Bua Sutar. A saint of Bombay named Bala Bua Sutar, who on account of his piety, devotion and bhajan was called modern Tukaram, came to Shirdi for the first time in 1917. When he bowed before Baba, the latter said, "I know this man since 4 years. Bala Bua wondered and thought, how could that be, as that was his first trip to Shirdi? But thinking about it seriously, he recollected that he had prostrated himself 4 years ago before Baba's portrait at Bombay and was convinced about the significance of Baba's words. He said to himself, how omniscient and all-pervading are the saints and how kind are they to their bhaktas. I merely bowed to his photo. This fact was noticed by Baba, and in due time, he made me realize that seeing his photo is equivalent to seeing him in person. Appa Sahib Kulkarni. To return to Appa Sahib's story, while he was in Thana, he had to go on tour to Bhiwandi and was not expected to return within a week. In his absence, the following wonderful thing took place on the third day. At noon, a fakir turned up at Appa Sahib's house. His features resembled exactly those of Baba's photo. Mrs. Kulkarni and the children all asked him whether he was Sai Baba of Shirdi. He said no, but that he was an obedient servant of his and came there at his order to inquire after the health of the family. Then he asked for dakshina. The lady gave him a rupee. He gave her a small pocket of woody and asked her to keep this in the shrine along with the photo for worship. Then he left the house and went away. Now hear the wonderful Leela of Sai. Appa Sahib could not proceed with his tour as his horse fell sick at Bhiwandi. He returned home that afternoon and learned from his wife after Fakir's visit. He smarted in his mind as he did not get the darshan of the Fakir, and he did not like that only 1 rupee was paid as dakshina. He said that had he been present, he would have offered not less than 10 rupees. Then he immediately started in quest of the fakir and searched for him in the masjid and other places without taking any food. His search was in vain. He then returned home and took his food. The reader may remember here Baba's dictum in chapter 32 that God's quest should not be made on an empty belly. Appa Sahib got a lesson here about this. After meals, he went out for a walk with a friend, Mr. Chitre. Going some distance, they saw a man approaching them rapidly. Appa Sahib, though that he must be the fakir that came to his house at noon, as his features tallied with those of Baba in the photo. The fakir immediately put forth his hand and asked for dakshina. Appa Sahib gave him a rupee. He demanded again and again, so Appa Sahib gave him 2 more. Still he was not satisfied. Then he borrowed 3 rupees from Mr. Chitre and gave them to him. He wanted still more. Appa Sahib asked him to accompany him to his home. Then they all returned home and Appa Sahib then gave him again 3 rupees, in all 9. He looked unsatisfied and demanded again. Then he told him that he had a currency of 10 rupees. The fakir asked for the same and took it and returned the 9 rupees in cash and went away. Appa Sahib had said that he would pay 10 rupees and that sum was taken from him and 9 rupees consecrated by Baba's touch were returned to him. The figure 9 is significant. It denotes the 9 types of devotion. That is chapter 21. In chapter 21, it may also be noted here that Baba gave 9 rupees to one Lakshmi Bai Shinde at his last moment. Appa Sahib examined the Udi packet and found that it contained some flower petals and akshata. Then some time afterwards he got hair from Baba when he saw him at Shirdi. He put the Udi packet and the hair in a talisman and always wore it on his arm. Appa Sahib realized the power of the Udi. Though he was very clever, he got 40 rupees as pay in the beginning. But after he secured Baba's photo and his Udi, he got many times 40 rupees per month and also got much power and influence, and all along with these temporal benefits, his spiritual progress was also rapid. So those who are fortunate enough to get Baba's Udi should, after bath, apply it on the forehead and take some little of it mixed with water in the mouth as holy tirth. Hari Bhavu Karnik. In 1970, Hari Bhavu Karnik of Dhahanu, Thana district came to Shirdi on the Guru Purnima day in the month of Ashada and worshipped Baba with all formality. He offered clothes and dakshina, and after taking Baba's leave through Shama, got down the steps of the masjid. Then he thought that he should offer 1 more rupee to Baba and was just turning to get up when Shama informed him by signs that he as he had got Baba's leave, he should go and not return. So he started home. On his way, when he went into the temple of Kala Rama at Nasik for darshan, the Saint Narsingh Maharaj, who used to sit just inside the big door of the temple, left his bhaktas there, came to Hare Bhavu, caught his wrist and said, "Give me my 1 rupee." Kanik was surprised. He paid the rupee most willingly and thought that Sai Baba recovered the rupee, which he intended in his mind to give through Saint Narsingh Maharaj. This shows how the saints work in unison. This story illustrates the fact that all saints are one and shows how they work in unison. Both to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sri Sai Ram.